Let's build this gaming PC. If you missed part 1 and 2, you can refer back to those, but now we're putting all the parts into the gaming PC's case. First thing we're going to do is take off the side panels, back and front, and then we're going to take off this fan since we're going to be replacing these. Then we can drop the motherboard in. Now before you do anything, get your rear I/O shield that comes in the motherboard box, or it's going to be attached to the motherboard. You want to install this first because if you don't install it, you have to take everything apart just to put it in. If your I/O shield is not attached, make sure you line it up with the motherboard so you know the orientation. You don't want to put this in backwards and then you're going to have to do the whole process again. Now we can drop the motherboard in, lining it up with the I/O shield. There's an important step here that you want to make sure you check before installing anything. You're going to notice some screw holes on the motherboard and they line up to install in the case. These are called standoffs. Some of these are not installed depending on the size of your motherboard, so you want to cross-reference your actual case to see if you're missing any, and they will be included in the hardware. Now we can install the first screw, and I generally start with the middle one. That way you have some flexibility when installing the other ones. Whenever installing tiny threaded screws, you want to make sure that you rotate left, and you're going to hear a click and then rotate right. This is going to avoid any cross-threading so you don't strip out any screws or standoffs. Then choose one corner and then the opposite. After that, you can basically install all the screws without having to rotate the motherboard. Now we're going to turn the case around and you're going to see a bunch of wires that connect the case to the motherboard. This is for your audio, your USB, and your power switch and things like that. This first cable, which is pretty thick, is for your USB-A, which is on your top of your case. Then we're going to have a USB-C header. You may or may not have this. If you don't, you have nothing to plug in. This can be an extra cable because sometimes your motherboard doesn't have that header. Just leave it in the back. You don't need to do anything with it. Then we have HD audio and then the power cables.